Finally, Meerkat, only a few weeks old, but it's already having an impact on the political scene. Former White House senior advisor Dan Pfeiffer writing an op-ed in Medium with the headline, "How Meerkat is Going to Change the 2016 Election." Pfeiffer basically makes the argument Meerkat can do for TV what blogs did for newspapers by being easy and cheap to use. We did talk to Meerkat CEO Ben Rubin last week, and he told us about the company's focus going forward. Take a listen.
Our main focus is more use cases and making sure that the product is going to be solid and working, that every time you press that button, people will be tuning in and it will just work magically.
What do you think, Henry? Does this smell like a fad or not?
I think the concept that it makes it much easier to live stream is great. I think the challenge that these companies have always had, going back to Ustream and Justin TV and others, is you got to have compelling stuff to watch. And lots of folks who might imagine that they're particularly compelling aren't that compelling to many people, so that will be the challenge. But sure, if some political candidate is making a speech where the networks aren't covering it, they're in the news, you might have a group of people watching very closely, maybe just other journalists waiting for that gaffe. But then the other question is, this is live. One sort of video that is totally working is actually saved clips. You didn't have to see it live, and here it is whenever you want it, and Meerkat's not hitting that yet.
But if something happens on that live stream, what's different about Meerkat is you can download it, you can keep it, you can save it, and you can publish it later. At least that's what Ben Rubin was saying the company's strategy is. But I take your point about the gaps, Henry. If candidates or would-be candidates didn't have to be on 24/7 before, they'd certainly do now.
It's getting harder and harder to be a candidate.
Well, I don't know. I mean, smartphone cameras, I think, were making this dangerous up to this point, as Mitt Romney can certainly attest. Not sure how much just live streaming itself adds. We've had live streaming for a while. It's the social factor on top of live streaming that could make this interesting. I wonder if it's more interesting for organizing a campaign than it is for the actual speech moment. You can kind of draw people into a right now moment. You're fervent fans of a particular candidate. It might prove to be more effective internally than externally.
You wouldn't be willing to, I mean, you like the notion, the concept, but you're not sure if Meerkat, despite having first strike advantage here, is going to leverage that long term?
Well, again, you have to figure out how to aggregate an audience that is big enough, and getting content that is compelling enough for a big audience to watch. And maybe what the plan is look, we don't care if it's 2 people here, 17 over there, 5,000 here. In aggregate, all over the world at once, the audience can be pretty big, and we'll figure out a way to put advertising in front of that or what have you. Maybe that is the plan, and this is certainly vastly more convenient than the laptop version of this, which was the first generation.
Well, certainly the company would have to get its infrastructure there too. I mean, it's been live for what, 17 days, something like that. So to be talking about audiences of above 10,000, I mean, at that point, you're really talking about some serious capabilities on the back end.
If you want to organize volunteers who are canvassing in a particular state or particular area, you're the candidate. Think how much more powerful it is to talk directly to them live.
Yeah, especially in some of the early caucus states, that might be effective.
Hey YouTube fans, I'm Landon Dowdy from CNBC. Thank you so much for checking out our channel. You can subscribe by clicking right here to check out the latest Mad Money CEO interviews, market news, financial advice, and product unboxing. Enjoy!